Hey there, Matt Clark here, and today with me I have Jenna and Travis Zigler, and so wanted to bring them not just because they're successful, which you'll hear about and all that good stuff. They are obviously members of ours at Amazing Selling Machine, but one of the really cool things that we're trying to stress as a company and trying to get out there is the impact people are having with their brands. You know, what we found out and what I found out, especially at one of our recent live events when I was talking with member after member after member about why did they join Amazing Selling Machine. And a lot of them, it wasn't just about the money. It wasn't about like, how do I quit my job even? It wasn't necessarily how do I make a bunch of money so I can buy fancy things. There was something else. They wanted to have some bigger impact in the world. And we've recently surveyed our members from ASM and found out that our members, if we extrapolate to the whole member base based on the people who surveyed, have donated over $100 million to charity, which is absolutely incredible. And so kind of wanted to bring to home a really good example of this and hear their amazing stories. So thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So what I'd like to do is just kind of, run through a bit about your story. You've got some really cool things you're out there doing in the world. You've got a successful business. But let's start with, what were you doing before you started this business?
So we had just started 2 optometry practices in South Carolina. And when you first start optometry practices, it can be a little slow. So we were a little bored, or Travis was a little bored, and got an email one day about ASM, and it just clicked for you.
Yeah, the funny thing is I was actually thinking about doing it on my own, and then I realized having a teammate would be a lot better, and it fell into our lap, and we go on a mission trip every year to Jamaica, and we take our staff with us, our team, and we knew that would cost probably around $12,000 a year, and so our goal when we purchased the course was to help pay for the staff to go on the mission trip with us. And so we purchased it, and here we are today.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's talk about that for a second, because we were just talking downstairs, and you were saying that you kind of found out about this whole thing about kind of a bigger mission, I guess, if you will, back when you were in college. Like you went on one of these trips back in, and it kind of like opened your mind up. Could you tell us sort of about that experience?
Yeah, so back in optometry school, we went on a trip to Ecuador with Volunteers for Optometric Service to Humanity, or VOSH, and that really got us started on everything. We got to see so many people that we could help, and just the smiles on their faces when they got their first pair of glasses. You have a really great story about a specific person that really, impacted you.
Yeah, his name, I still remember his name. His name was Angel Riviera, and I remember him when we pulled up to the clinic that day. His eye was red, and he had pressures of about 80, and normal pressures around 20. And so he had 4 times that of normal, and what we did in clinic that day is we brought his pressure down from 80 down to 20, pretty much relieved his pain. Unfortunately, he was already blind in that eye, but we relieved his pain. This was a hard-nosed 80-year-old farmer, and so I just remember he just broke down in tears, started crying, and then just hugged me and said, "God bless you, God bless you." That's when I got hooked. We joked that's the last time she saw me cry. So,
Ever?
but we were hooked at that point, that we knew we had to do this mission for life, and with our practices, we calculated that it'd probably be about the age of 55 to 60 before we'd get to this full time. And then with ASM and with the help that the amazing community has given us, we are doing it now 2.5 years later.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's been just amazing, and now we can dedicate our whole lives to our mission work, and instead of going on 1 trip a year, we go on 3 to 4.
And so you kind of knew going into this that when you were building your practice, like the goal was still to do this.
Yeah.
And then you instead sort of ended up doing that, but also building a business kind of using the training that we've created.
Yeah.
And then it allowed you to get there a heck of a lot faster.
A heck of a lot faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how did that experience kind of work, building your business, going through Amazing Selling Machine, launching physical products, like how'd that journey kind of go for you all?
It was interesting, and it was a lot of work. I mean, it required a lot of dedication. We would get up at 6 in the morning and watch the trainings and go through all of that, then go and see patients all day long and really be focused on that throughout the day, and then get home and at night watch more training, implement more stuff. And it was, it got to the point eventually though that when we were running our business, we were doing the same thing. We were running our online business in the morning and at night, and then seeing patients all day long, and that's exhausting. I mean, I never thought that I would not be seeing patients as an optometrist, but this is pretty awesome that we get to do this.
But we knew that if we put in the time and effort at that time, building all 3 businesses, that we knew it would pay off in 3 years now from then, and it has. Right now we're living the life we love. We just had our first child, and he's 9 months old, and we get to stay home with him all day and try to work on the business. And then but we've built an incredible team. We now have 8 people that work for us, And kind of what we do now is kind of optional. We just try to make our job every day is to grow our business more. And we always joke that my job is to 10x the company, her job is to keep us from going bankrupt, and then the team does the rest. So it's a lot of fun. It started out with just us two, and it's grown to this team of people that you're responsible for, and it's just a lot of fun because we interact with them on a daily basis, but they're all virtual. But pretty much what we did at the beginning is we followed the training step by step, and we watched the training, implemented, watched the training, implemented, and we didn't skip anything. And we've been asked, like, what was the secret to your success? And it's literally just following the training. It's that simple.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I guess probably having your bigger mission has kind of helped you motivation-wise too. Let's talk a bit about, like, you know, what is the problem out there that y'all are trying to address in the world, and also, like, how has that sort of been related to your business? So, like, you know, you all would know this, obviously. What is kind of the big issue that you all are out there trying to tackle?
Yeah, so there are 700 million people in the world that are blind because they don't have access to glasses. So whether that's reading glasses or just regular glasses that help them see far away, there's just a huge need in the world. You know, there are optometrists in some of these, you know, countries, but there aren't enough for the amount of people that are there. And you have to have, you know, money to be able to see the optometrist and to get the care that they need. And so that's really kind of what we're trying to tackle through I Love and our foundation.
Yeah, with our mission is to end preventable blindness, and that's what she's talking about there, with blindness being just from a lack of glasses. And most people don't realize that you can go to the dollar store, buy a $1 pair of glasses, put them on somebody, and they can see again. And so the example I like to give is a fisherman. We go to a lot of islands in the Caribbean, and a lot of people fish. Once they hit around the age of 40 to 50, they lose that ability to see their hook, so they can't line it anymore. And so you give them a pair of reading glasses that we bought for $1 or even 50 cents in the United States, and now they can work again. But instead, what they used to have to do is they'd become a beggar, because that's all they could do. They couldn't see. And so you're giving countries a boost in economy just because people can continue to work again. And so
it seems like
amazing.
such like a small amount of money. Like, why do you think it's not making it down there? Why is it sort of, where's the system broken?
700 million people. It's just hard.
A lot of people.
It's just, and we're growing every day. The world's growing, and so it's hard to get the access there. And I think it's partially due to just how these countries are set up. They're just not set up for healthcare.
And I think that there are other, definitely not bigger problems, because I think this is a huge problem, but there are, you know, other issues that, you know, other organizations are trying to tackle first, you know, before eye care. They don't consider eye care to be as important as it really is, but it's one of your most important senses, you know, to be able to function in your daily life.
Yeah, absolutely. And so then you all have had this bigger mission, and now you sort of use your business as a vehicle to kind of do good things in the world. So I know you're saying that you've donated so much amount of money that you do to this cause, right? That's actually coming from your business, the profit.
Yep. So we started our I Love Cares Foundation 2 years ago, and we donate a portion of all of our profits to our foundation, and then our foundation helps to fund our mission trips, helps to fund equipment that's needed, sunglasses, glasses, and the general eye exams, and then scholarships for optometry students as well. So. And
then the end goal of the foundation is to create permanent clinics, because right now it's a MASH style clinic. We go in there, we set up, we see 2,000 to 3,000 patients in a week, which is typically what we do in a year here, and then we leave. And so the sustainability isn't there, so if they break their glasses, lose their glasses, they can't get another pair. And so our goal is to create a sustainable clinic in these countries, and then train people in that country to then go out, check for glasses, and if it's just a simple pair of readers, they can dispense that pretty easily. If they have more trouble, they can then send it back into the hub office, the main office where we would be working, or an optometrist would be working, and then we can figure out if there's a bigger problem there going on.
That's awesome. So, you know, you all clearly didn't get involved in this as like just something to add to your marketing material. But, you know, this thing, you see it a lot of cases, like Tom's Shoes, for example. You know, they built this massive multi-$100 million company with the whole program of, you buy a pair of shoes from us, we give a pair of shoes to somebody in need. And so this, I think people are in general, consumers are really resonating with this kind of thing, because they're like, yeah, maybe I get a nice product, but I'm not really into just giving money to a business just so they can make more money. That doesn't really get me excited. So they're favoring brands that have a bigger mission. So how do you think, like, on a tactical level, like, this has like impacted your actual brand and your actual sales versus other people selling similar products that don't have kind of a bigger mission involved?
Yeah.
I think loyalty is the biggest thing. And so we have an insert in every package that we send out almost that talks about our mission on one side. And when they see the mission, they feel like they're part of something bigger, but they don't just throw that brand off to the side anymore. What they do is when they go to search for, like sunglasses, for example, if they buy a pair of our sunglasses and then they see it on a card, they then will go back and buy another pair of our sunglasses and specifically search our brand because they're supporting that mission versus going back on Amazon, putting in the keyword sunglasses and just buying from that.
Yeah.
They're actually searching for our brand instead of just searching for just a general product or something.
And we've put our mission on everything since the beginning. You know, it's been on pretty much since the beginning, on our boxes, our inserts, you know, our Amazon listings, our website, everything. And we were joking earlier that, you know, when we get somebody that wants to give us a 1-star, they give us a 3-star review instead. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So just to wrap up, you know, I guess you've had a lot of success. You're still in the middle of this thing. You're growing your business. You're out there having an amazing impact. You know, what does the future look like for you all? What are you looking for? What are you working on? And where's this going?
Yeah, we were just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, it was a deep conversation. Our mission, pretty much what we see happening is creating those like bike and hub clinics that we talked about. And once you figure out how to create one of those sustainably, then you can just replicate it over and over and over again in every country in the Caribbean and even here in the United States. We actually do a lot of work here in the United States as well. And that's our future, and that's where we see ourselves spending our whole time. Right now we do a lot day-to-day in the business, and within the next 2 years I want to be out of the day-to-day. I want her to be out of the day-to-day, so then we can 100% focus on the mission work and still have somebody else running our company or somebody coming in and buying into the company and us just still being advisors on the company. And so that's where I see the future of this going. And then of course our foundation will be kind of our heart and soul moving forward.
I mean, I've said since our first trip to Ecuador back in optometry school that if I could just do that type of work for free whenever I wanted to and not necessarily because I need to, you know, that would be perfect. I would love to be able to just go to one of our clinics or do a free clinic here, you know, in the States, and just do it because I want to, and I can, because we have the passive income to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining us and sharing your story with everybody. Everybody, so as you can see, you know, you can build this kind of business, and a lot of people do it because they want to make income, they want to have freedom from maybe a job they're working at, or they want to bring a husband or a wife home from a full-time job to spend more time with family or kids, or whatever it is that you want to do. You may also have a big impact out there you want to have in the world, and this business is also another vehicle for that. So as you see from Perfect Example, it is absolutely possible. So thank you very much for watching, and we hope to see you soon.